Hello everybody, hope y'all are doing good out there. I just went to a local pawn shop and picked up a few knives. Picked up one for one of my good friends. You'll have to excuse my voice because I've got a little cold or some flu or something going on, so if I sound a little strange, that's why. Nevertheless, one of my friends, he likes the old German eye knives, and I found one here. Now this one is the kind of what Case would call their sodbuster pattern. You can see they're about the same size and same shape of knife. But this is what they call a German eye. Now I don't know a lot about these knives. Any of y'all out there who know more about these, comment down below. I'd love to know more history about these German eye knives. I know some people call them eyeball knives, but nevertheless, this one's got a wood handle on it. I'm assuming it's something like walnut. I really don't know, though. Then this has what's known as a bird's eye pivot. This is a true bird's eye pivot. They have taken a washer, put a pin through it, and pinned the pin into the washer. That's in contrast to a Case sodbuster. This one has a cutlery rivet. So that is some of the difference in these particular knives. So that is kind of interesting. Nevertheless, this one's pretty old. I don't know how old exactly. I'm guessing at least from the 50s. But if y'all know, comment down below. It does have an item number, but it's kind of hard to see. You can see it says ORGM, or maybe DRGM. Then it looks to me like it has an maybe a 14, then 3923. I'm going to clean this knife up a little bit. I'm going to sharpen it for him because this knife is about as dull as it can be. It's not sharp at all. And some of the pins are just ridiculously proud. Like this pin right here. See how that's sticking up? You can see it sticking up past the handle and it's sharp. So I'm going to take the leading edge off that so it's not so sharp on the hand, and I'm going to clean up some of these pins. Going to sharpen the blade. But, you know, I've always heard that eyeball knives were real good quality, and this one, the quality control is not that great. And this rivet, you can see the top of this rivet, this bird's eye pivot is sticking out of the handle, and it's not very even. Same can be said for this one on the back. It's sticking out here on the pivot side. This pin's sticking out. There's some gapping between the spring and the brass, and that could have happened over the years of use because this knife has been used, but I don't think it did. I imagine that was right from the factory like that. The pivot's good and tight, but you'll notice there that when the blade's in the open position, there is some clearance between the blade and the spring. And so you can push that blade up just a little bit, which isn't ideal, but it is kind of interesting. Nevertheless, he likes these eyeball knives, and I got this one for a real good price. I think I got it for like $25. I bundled with two other knives that I was wanting, and you'll be seeing them in future videos. Got some really nice ones, and I did a bundle. So this one was probably about $20. I'm sure it's worth every penny of that. But I'm going to, I already smoothed this pin out right here. Just enough so it won't catch your finger anymore and won't be sharp. I'm going to do that with this one on the back now. Smooth it out, and then I'm going to polish up some of these pivots, sharpen the blade. I'm going to leave the patina because that's giving this knife character, but I am going to try to knock down that little spot right there a little bit. So I went ahead and I didn't want to take the pin completely down because I didn't want to touch the wood with the sander, but I just took the edge off that a little bit, so it's not sharp to the hand any longer. Now I'm going to polish it just a little bit. Okay, so that's got us looking good and feeling even better. So that's got that pin good. I'm going to try to polish up this bird's eye pivot a little bit here, see what I can do. I'm going to switch to my wheel. It will probably get in there better. I don't want to really remove much material from the pivot. I just want to try to shine it up a little bit. Let's see what that's looking like. That's looking a lot better. Let me see. I'm going to try to get down in there just a little bit further and see if I can polish that up just a speck more. Okay, so that's got that pivot looking pretty good. What do y'all think? So this pin, I'm going to just do a light buff over it because you can catch it, but it's not really sharp. This one feels good. This one feels great. So I am going to run over this one again. But first, I'm going to try to clean up this pivot on this side here. Okay, so now we've got this bird's eye pivot good and shined up. There is a strange indentation right there. You can see it right by my thumb. And I think that's when they were peening it. I guess that indentation got put there with the punch they were using or whatever. So yeah, I've already done this one and this one. This bottom one just really needs shined up because they're not protruding enough to hurt anything. And then I'm going to do a light buffing just here on this back spring, I think. I'm not going to do a lot, but I am going to do a little. So I'm going to go over the back of this knife very lightly. I'm not worried about buffing this wood. If anything, I think it would be good for it. I think I'll put some of that lemon seed oil on this when I get done with it. Okay, and we just put a quick polish on that back spring. Again, didn't go deep enough to remove the patina. Just put a little shine on it and clean it up a speck. So next thing is going to be, I'm going to mess with trying to take a little bit of this spot off this blade. I don't want to mess with the patina. And I don't want to just buff in the middle of the blade and have a shiny spot. So I'm going to do the old pencil trick and see if I can knock down that little rust spot some using the pencil. I'm not trying to get it perfect. I just want to knock it down a little more than it is at the present. If you all have ever tried this trick, this works really well a lot of times. Just sharpen you up a good lead pencil, or graphite I reckon it is, and it will kind of grind that rust down. But it really won't scratch up the blade because from what I understand, the steel is, of course, harder than the graphite. So you can do this, and it won't remove a spot completely, but it can sure make it less noticeable and less visible. And I'm not trying to make it where you can't see this spot. I'm just trying to get off the top layer there where it's really stiff. That way you won't be able to feel it with your finger much, and you don't have to worry about the rust continuing on there, growing and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep on working on this for a little bit, then I'm going to oil the pivot, and then sharpen the knife, and then put some lemon oil. I think it's lemon seed oil. I've got some made for a guitar fretboard that I've had for years that I put on my guitar necks. So I'll be back here in just a minute. So I worked on that spot, got it down into the metal more, so you can barely feel it with your finger. I don't want to go any further with this particular knife because we don't want to remove the patina on this one. I'm going to put a little 3-in-1 oil into this pivot, work it back and forth a few times, get some snap out of it. Sounding good, eh? Now I think all we got left to do is sharpen the knife and then use put some oil on the handle. We've got this side sharpened. Now we're going to flip over to this other side. I am using my extra coarse stone because this knife has basically no edge on it at all. You'll have to excuse my lousy camera work. I am not a cameraman. I'm just a redneck messing with knives. So we'll see if we can get this knife on sharpened up. I'm assuming this is like a 1095 steel. I really don't know. If any of y'all know the steel that the German eyeball company used, let me know. And let me know who made these German eye knives. I don't hear a lot about them, except for there's some people out there that really like them and collect them quite regularly. So I'm just going to keep sharpening like this till I get that edge to roll over on the side we began with, and then I'll be back after that. So I've worked down in our grits. So now I'm going to run it over this ceramic stone, and that should have us good and sharp. I'm not trying to make this knife like scary sharp, because the guy that it belongs to, he don't like his knives crazy sharp. He's got to be careful about cutting himself because he's on blood thinner, and he has a tendency to cut himself sometimes. So when I sharpen a knife for him, I make it sharp, but not like crazy sharp. Okay, let me see here. This is an old piece of just notebook paper that my mom's cat George had shredded, so we'll use it see if we got this knife sharp. Yep, that looks good and sharp to me. So I think this knife is ready to go. I'm going to put a little bit of this lemon seed oil onto the handle here, and it'll be done. This stuff works really good on like a guitar handle, and I've used it on knife handles before, and it really kind of soaks into that wood, and I think it really helps the wood and so on. So we'll put some of that on there, and then we'll let it soak in. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty nice knife, especially for those out there who like these eyeball knives. I did a quick search on the internet, and I couldn't find any of this particular model on there. Now, I may just not have looked in the right place or hard enough, but it's a pretty interesting knife, that's for sure. So, I'll get this lemon oil rubbed into the handle, and I think this knife is ready to go. Here we go. It's looking pretty good. We got our pins shined up. Got our brass springs, our brass back springs. Our back, see if I can get untangled here. Had a coughing fit, and after that having trouble putting the words together right. We got our brass liners and our back spring shined up. Got our pins so that they no longer catch your finger. We got snap. We got a sharp edge. And we got good closing snap. This knife's ready to go. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good day. Comment down below and keep your knife sharp.